everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Keeping Up with Conspicuous. You know the drill. I am joined today by Vanessa, who is head of HR, amongst loads of other things, at Conspicuous. And we're going to have a conversation today around all things internal recruitment, learning and development, so looking after the staff, comes into like talent retention. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Good. I'm excited about this one. So, okay, I guess we'll just start by sort of discussing a little bit about what is Conspicuous's approach to internal recruitment and how do you think a recruitment agency should look at internal recruitment?
I think it's really important, actually. I think it's really important to find the right people. I think it's really important to find the right people that fit your organisation and your culture. I think that's really key. It's not necessarily about the skill set. It's more about that person's personality, how well they work with others. Are they really keen to do a job really well?
Yeah.
Honesty, integrity, all of those sort of things come into play.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it tends to be that we get really good people on the back of that.
And I mean, Vanessa's definitely the best person to do that, because explain to everyone what your background is, if you don't mind.
Well, so my background, I worked 20 years in finance, and then from finance I went to recruitment, and I worked in recruitment for 15 years. And then I came to Conspicuous after being furloughed, and joined just as a part-time administrator initially, ironically. And now I'm head of HR, head of internal recruitment, and head of training. So, yeah.
I told you everything. Like, if we need something, we go to Vanessa. But I think that's super important for anyone who works in HR. I think hopefully you agree. Coming from recruiter and now HR position is to be able to have someone you can go to with any issues and training, progression, those sorts of conversations. As a recruiter, a lot of us tend to be quite ambitious, and I think we have that relationship where I can go to Vanessa and say, look, I want to have training in this, and we will do it. So yeah, that's good. I mean, so when you're looking for employees, what factors do you take into account, or what's key?
I think what's key is somebody that shows some level of career aspirations, I suppose. Somebody that really wants to work and work their way up. Somebody that enjoys what they're doing, has a real passion for what they're doing. So whether that is sales, whether that's recruitment, whatever it is, you need to have a passion and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's really key. You know, a lot of the times we bring in people that don't have any experience, but are just looking to get into a good sales organisation, which we are, and wanting to make a difference to people in general.
I guess because at the end of the day, as a recruiter, or even in a HR job, you are helping people.
Yeah.
So I think people, I don't know, I always think people forget that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then, so on the topic of learning and development for internal staff, not just at Conspicuous, but at recruitment agencies in general, what sort of strategies do you think are quite important?
How do you mean by that?
So people can continue to learn and develop in the company.
Yeah, I think we've got an open door policy, and I think we have regular appraisals with people. We have a clear career path anyway for everybody. But if somebody wants to veer off that sideways to do something, I think we're really supportive of that. I think, you know, in the appraisals, we're always asking, you know, how are you feeling? Is this ticking all your boxes in what you're doing on a daily basis? Is there something that you'd like to introduce into that? We're open to everything, to be honest. And if it's something that we feel is going to be beneficial for us as a business, to our candidates, to our clients, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, how do you sort of support people if they come to you with an issue? How would you approach sort of solving something? Just to get like an insight into how do you deal with that?
I think really it's just getting to know that person. I don't think you can you can treat everybody the same. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own personalities.
We sure do look conspicuous.
Yeah, and I think that's key. I think it's key understanding that person and you know what works for that person.
Yeah.
You know, some people like a lot of reassurance. Other people don't necessarily want to ring a bell.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's different, and we've got people that like to ring a bell and people that don't like to ring a bell, and just everything is different. And I just think it's really taking the time to get to know that person.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you kind of covered the next one in a point already, but how do you communicate? So for example, if I was to sit down with you, how would you tell me what my future opportunities or progression looks like? What do you do?
I'd probably highlight what you're really good at, firstly, and then I'd start to sort of steer you down different opportunities that builds to your strengths. Mm-hmm. So what you really enjoy doing, and maybe some bits that you don't so much enjoy doing, because I think we're all good at things that we enjoy doing. If we don't really enjoy doing them, we're not so good at. Yeah. So, you know, it's just building on someone's strengths, really.
Definitely. And so if you were to sit down, say, with one of our clients, with a hiring manager or head of HR, and they came to you and said they were struggling with a barrier to their recruitment currently, what advice would you give them for the hiring process?
I'd need to understand what their issues are.
So maybe the barrier could be something like, maybe help me, barrier could be that they're not understanding the technical ability of candidates enough in the interviews.
Okay, so what I would say is, you know, with our consultants, we really know the market, we really know what we're looking for. We've worked in the dynamic space for a very long time, 20 years, so we're highly skilled at identifying what is a good candidate, what's a good skill set of a candidate at a certain level in their career. So it's just all about really drilling into the candidate and really understanding what they do on a daily basis.
I think if you don't understand it yourself, how are you going to know what to ask that? So that's so true.
Yeah, it's so much more than just matching to a job description. I think
100%. I think it's also personable as well. We see so many interviews where it's like a tick list of questions. Like even here, I'm not following these points to the T, and it's important about adapting to what the person is saying in an interview to get the right amount out of them. Imagine if Vanessa's like, no, I don't agree with that. I'll be like, oh, no. But okay, and then so what about how do you strike a balance between focusing on the people you have working here, but also trying to hire new people?
I think we try to concentrate on the people that we've got here first and make sure that they're really comfortable and that they don't need as much one-to-one training. Mm-hmm. I think that's really important, not to flood your business with loads of people that need your help. Because otherwise I just think it falls down. I think your consultants then don't get all the love and nurturing that they need really to get them flying.
And then it's like domino effect, and then if they're not doing so well, demotivated, and I guess in this job, as soon as you get demotivated, it's like a sliding scale. It's sort of so okay, that's good. And I mean, so what's sort of future strategy for, you know, are you looking to build the team conspicuous? What's the sort of any future learning opportunities, or what's the plans?
Yeah, we're definitely looking to build both teams, UK and US teams. Mm-hmm. We've got a few conferences coming up in October, which will be exciting. Our guys are going to Vegas and North Carolina to Power Platform and Dynamics. So that'll be good. And then sort of come in the new year, I think we'll then be in a position to really start opening the doors up within the UK team and the US team. Hopefully the market will have picked up a lot more as well. So that's the plan, and maybe sort of promote within as well that the current consultants that we've got, they're all doing really well. We've already promoted and Matt and Sam, so it's all going in the right direction.
And I think that what Vanessa just said there, you can see there's a balance. Like for anyone hiring, for recruiters or in general, like you can't do it all. So, you know, they know that they've got the conferences coming up in the US and they're going to be focusing a bit more on that. So you put hiring on the back burner for a while. I think, you know, she's showing the balance that is there and what's important. Have you ever done any interviews here and someone said something you're like, oh, like what puts you off in an interview?
I think, you know, just don't oversell yourself. I think just be really humble, be yourself, you know, and just be really honest. I think, you know, if you don't have all the skills or you're a bit nervous about something, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're here to train people, but it's having the want.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's showing us that you really want to work for us, you really want to make a difference to people's lives, and you want to do a really good job.
Yeah. Okay. And what about people that are looking to progress in their current jobs? What advice would you maybe give them?
Just honesty and integrity, to be honest. To be honest. Yeah, I just think, you
You've
know,
got it.
It's maybe too honest sometimes. And just doing a job well. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, ask questions. Ask as many questions as you like. It doesn't matter. You want to get to you want to get highly skilled in what you're doing, and if that means that you've got to keep asking questions, keep doing it.
Yeah, I think people think that the longer they're in a job, not necessarily even as they progress, but the longer they're in the job, the less rights or okay it is to ask questions or to not know something. I mean, I ask Nico, sit next to Nico, unfortunately for him, I ask him questions all the time. Like I asked him one this morning about some country in Europe, which I knew, I forgot the map, and he's my Google. Honestly, he's my Google. So just don't like feel bad about asking questions and things.
I think at any level, you know, whether you've just come out of uni or school, right up to director level, we're all still learning. We can all still learn.
Okay, and so say someone was walking in now and you were going to interview them, what could they do to really impress you? What would you love? I've kind of put you on the spot, but I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think just showing some confidence, but being quite humble at the same time.
Yeah, not cocky.
Not cocky.
Which I guess is important for sales, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's it.
No, that's good. I mean, hopefully we helped with some sort of hiring advice, internal talent retention, bits and bobs like that, not just for recruitment world, but in general. So if you have any questions, drop them below. I know you can comment on Spotify and YouTube. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll have you back again at some point. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.